Stephen A's list. It's about to get real. About to get much better than it usually is. And remember, I'm giving you my 5 top teams. But the list is fluid. The list is fluid. It's all about this week. It's not about last week, about this week, what we're doing now. I got some people here to take shots at me. I'm okay with it. I'm built from got guys out in LA want to take shots. I'm not scared of it. RG3's here. Mina's here. I'm not afraid. I'm going to start this out with a good one. Give it to me. Give it to me. Boom! Right there, Miami Dolphins. Top 5. Why are they? Tua. Keep saying it again. Waddle. Say it again. Hill. These dudes can absolutely fly. Run after catch. Deep balls, come back, make it. Kind of reminded me of Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill against the Lions. Coming back for a ball, making the play, making these things. Down against the Ravens, they come back from 21. Down against the Lions, they come back. This team's running, and they are a different football team with Tua at QB. I like it, and as Stephen A says, Tua and the boys are doing it. They got to get better on defense, but I like them at number 5. All right, on my list, give me number 4. Who's number 4? Bang right there, Dallas Cowboys. Gotta love the Cowboys. Again, Dak Prescott, 27 attempts, 2 off-target throws. In my opinion, 3 weeks ahead of where I expected him. Everybody's gonna talk about Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Keep it how it is. Cowboys, you can't have nice stuff if you're always screwing it up. Leave it alone. Zeke Elliott, be the guy. Pollard, come in, be your guy. Everybody gets touches. We got to keep CeeDee Lamb, keep him growing. And then let's not forget the defense. Defense wins championships. This Cowboys defense is lights out. They kept you in games with Cooper Rush. It's not going to change with Dak Prescott. I love what they are. This is the second best team in the NFC, and they are really close to my Philadelphia Eagles. But that's my number 4 team. All right, here we go for number 3. Where we're going to go? Stephen A., I could hear you. Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, he's the answer to most football questions. This team is lights out. Love the offensive line. Their style of play has changed from last year to this year, and I respect it. Patrick Mahomes has adapted his game, but this team can score at will. You're seeing them put this thing together. My favorite part is they're establishing the run. They used to be great in efficiency at yards yards per run, but not in how many runs. They're getting the touches they should. I like where this football team is. Slightly behind my number 2 team. Who's my number 2? Little surprise right here. We're going to go Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh,
number
boy.
2. Listen.
Here we go.
This is no disrespect, y'all. No disrespect. The list is fluid. The list is fluid. I'm looking at last week. And they listen. Jalen Hurts.
What were you looking at last week?
Hey, hold on. I'm talking about I've got to get my number 1 team. My number 2 team. Right now, I love what Jalen Hurts is doing. I love the best offensive line in football. You are the most physical offensive line in football. They put it on you. Jalen Hurts is putting the ball. A.J. Brown made some spectacular catches. Some balls that were placed perfectly. Everybody questioned, could Jalen Hurts beat you from the pocket? Well, he has proved everybody week in and week out he can. Second best team in football this week, because my number 1 team got to be the Buffalo Bills. Listen, they played average and still beat the Green Bay Packers by 10.
This is true.
That is saying something, y'all. I mean, we talk about the run game's not quite where we want it. When it comes to big boy time, we know who's going to tote it, and that's Josh Allen. So let's forget about all the questions about can they run it when it matters. We've seen him compete with Patrick Mahomes and beat him. We've seen him keep showing. He goes with Aaron Rodgers, beats them as well. I love the defense. Leslie Frazier does a great job, even through injury. And I was worried about, and I'm still worried about Poyer.
I'm worried about Poyer.
Me too. You got to come back. That could affect it, but it's fluid. I'm channeling Stephen A. here, but it's fluid. But I love these 2 teams. And again, the hiccup in Miami, I get it and I feel it. But this team, to me, last week looked like the best team in the NFL.
Oh,
Jeff,
all right.
come on, Jeff, man.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Jeff,
Jeff.
You want to go first?
Is fluid,
Go first.
right?
Yeah.
If the list is fluid, the Bills can't be at number 1.
Why?
Because the Eagles were dominant last week.
Dominant.
Okay, against
Dominant.
the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm
It
coming over
doesn't
here.
matter.
Yeah,
You can only play.
no, it does.
It's only about
It
who you
does
play.
matter.
So if
It
the list
does
is
matter.
fluid, the Bills not playing as well should at least put them at number 2.
They played poor and still beat the brakes off of.
And that's a solid point, but
Yes.
winning is a habit, right?
Pardon me.
Okay.
Do we think the Packers are good? Because
That's what I'm glad you said that,
I was
Mina.
like,
Probably
they
the
beat
best
the
point.
mighty Green Bay Packers.
I mean-
Yo, the same Packers that have been losing to New York Like, what are we doing here? I mean,
that's a little better argument. I digress. I'm still sticking.
Speaking of teams with really good records, I do believe the undefeated Eagles beat not just beat the brakes of the 6-1 Vikings at the beginning.
They did. And listen, I like the Vikings, and they were close on my top, but not quite there.
That's a quality win.
But wait, so hold on.
It's their only
go
real.
ahead, Kid.
By the way, hold on. Before we talk about the Eagles, who are undefeated and a great team, they will be favored in probably every game.
Yep.
Let's not act like there's. I mean, listen, you got to play who's on your schedule. It's not like the schedule was overbearing for this football team. They have met every challenge, which I respect. But that's why I put the Bills at 1 this week.
First of all,
it's fluid.
An undefeated team in the National Football League should be number 1. I don't care what you say. The Eagles shouldn't be sitting at 2. They should be at 1. The Bills at 2, like Mina said, they played the Green Bay Packers, man. Who came off losses against the Giants and the Jets. Stop it. Stop
They
it.
did struggle.
And then on top of that,
Stephen A.
hold
won't
on.
back down like this.
Then when you go,
I was trying to
and
chill
then
my
when you
Stephen
go
A.
to
with
5,
a bad list.
but hold on. You go down.
Nobody saw what I did. I tried to put it out there and tried to give ammunition, and nobody got what I did.
But Jeff, now you got number 5. You got the Dolphins at 5 that lost to Minnesota, barely got out of Detroit against Detroit. Like, come on, man.
No.
And you don't even have Minnesota on there.
Who you gonna put the team that they beat? You gonna put the Ravens there?
You could. No. I would either put.
Yeah, you could.
I'm either gonna put Minnesota there, or I'm gonna put Seattle there. But I'm not putting the Dolphins
Even
there.
I think that's crazy.
No. Now you're channeling your Stephen A. out in L.A.
So everybody's dressed up as Stephen A.
No, sir.
Okay.
Everybody's
you
trying to be
mean?
Stephen.
Okay.
No.
It's the Pete Carroll connection. I get it.
Can I
Carry
just
on.
jump in and say why the Eagles should be number 1? And we talked about the quality win over the Vikings and the Bills' not-so-quality win over the Packers. Here's what I loved about watching the Eagles dominate admittedly inferior competition. One, people are sleeping on how good and deep this defense is. I am worried about the Jordan Poyer injury because you saw what happened when he went out in Buffalo. But this Eagles offense, and I'm sure you can speak to this as well, they can beat you so many different ways.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.